let's start building our plan. You might be wondering, should we be using every single process from the PMBOK? And what is the specific order? Well, let me break it down for you. For our project, I built a roadmap that is displayed on the screen. Think of a being project manager like being a chef in the kitchen. Just like a chef doesn't use every spice in the rack for one dish, you don't need to use every tool in the PMBOK for one project. Your job is like picking the right ingredients for the delicious meal. You choose tools and techniques that fit just right for the project size and needs. Let's dive into a really important part of any project, figuring out who is who. It's like putting together a guest list for a big party. We're talking about identifying stakeholders. And guess what? It's not just something that you do once and forget about it. It's an ongoing part of your project plan, a bit like keeping an eye on who is coming to your party. In our project, we already spotted a few important guests: the IT expert, the project manager, and the director. There are other key people in our scenario. They are the public, the city of Hamilton, the library manager, the city IT, the hardware vendors, and network experts. Normally, we'd like to make a table listing all these people, their roles, and how much they can shake things up in our project. But for now, let's just remember who they are, and we'll come back to this later. Once you've got your project chart ready, with all the big ideas written down, it's time to get into nitty-gritty, gathering the specific requirements. In our project, working closely with Alex is super important. He is our go-to guy for recommending all the hardware we need. But that's not all. We should also have a chat with Kevin Smart, the city IT manager. His advice is super important to make sure that the equipment we've chosen fit our project like a glove. By teaming up with both Alex and Mr. Smart, you make sure you're on the right path with what you need. It's like putting together the perfect recipe for our project. Here's an example of what those requirements might look like. Considering our project's budget, the city's rules say that we need to get quotes from at least 2 different suppliers. This is pretty easy for us to handle. We'll just send our list of what we need to 2 potential suppliers, CDW and Dell. Once we get their price quotes, we'll compare them side by side. These comparisons helps us to figure out which one gives us the best deal, and that's how we'll start building our project budget. For our example, let's say Dell comes back with better pricing for desktops. Knowing this, we'll plan our budget based on the prices from Dell. This is how we make sure we're getting the most bang for our buck. To put together a really detailed budget, we've got a couple steps to follow. First, we need to stick with our procurement process and compare quotes from different vendors for what we need. But that's not all. We also have to figure out how much we will spend on the labor. Since we're bringing Alex on board to help us with the technical side of things and to give us advice throughout the planning phase, we need to factor in some changes for hours for his work. This means our budget is not just about the stuff we are buying, it's also about the time and expertise Alex is bringing to the table. Our choice here is Dell. Next, let's estimate labor cost and total hardware cost as shown in the table. We can clearly see that we're in a better position in terms of budget than we have thought in the initiation phase of the project. We're keeping it simple for this project, so we're just going to whip up a basic schedule. Take a look at the screen and see what we've planned. Here are a few key points about our schedule. We've included some extra time as a buffer. This gives us a bit more wiggle room for installing hardware and software, just in case things take a bit longer than expected. Our goal is to wrap up this project in 32 days, which is actually slower than the 6 weeks we originally thought it would take, and that is based on a 5-day work week. Now it's a good time to submit a change order to our sponsor. Now you might be saying, hey, why bother with a change order? We're staying within the budget. We're exceeding schedule only by 2 extra days, but there are 4-day buffer in the schedule. Can we just go on with it? Well, the thing about change order or change notice, it's all about keeping everyone in the loop. It's a way to formally tell your sponsor and other stakeholders about any shift from the original plan. Even if it's not a formal change order or a notice, a quick email update to let everyone know about the changes is a smart move. It's all about keeping communication clear and everyone on the same page. Once we have a schedule, we'll have a solid base to plan resources. And here's an example in a table format. Managing quality can sometimes be a big deal, involving a lot of know-how and teamwork. But for many projects, including ours, it can be pretty straightforward. Here's what our quality management plan looks like. We'll pick our vendors from a list that's already got the thumbs up from the City of Hamilton. This means we're starting off with trusted choices. We'll make sure to buy extended warranties and services for each PC. This way, if anything goes wrong with a computer, we're covered and can fix it without a hitch. We'll do user tests on every single PC. This is like giving each computer a mini exam to ensure that they're ready to perform their best. Communication management is super important in any project. It's all about making sure everyone knows about what's going on, keeping expectations in check, and making sure we're all heading in the same direction towards our project goals. Good communication means sharing information clearly and on time. It's about dealing with any changes that come up, whether it's about what we're doing, when we're doing, or what we're using to get it done. And most importantly, it's about making sure everyone involved gets the updates they need. To keep things neat and easy to follow, we're going to put together our communication plan in a simple table. This way, everyone can see at a glance who needs to know what and when. We already created a RACI matrix in the project charter, but the project plan is a perfect place to expand and add details. Stakeholder engagement is a key part of any project. It really hinges on how well a project manager can communicate. It's crucial for a project manager to get where each stakeholder is coming from. To help with this, we are using a table that lets you document how each stakeholder currently feels and how you want them to feel. This is a great way to plan out how to engage with them effectively. Now, if you're running a smaller project like this, you may think, do you really need this table? But here's the thing. We're giving you a handy tool to make managing stakeholder engagement easier. Imagine you're running a huge billion-dollar project with hundreds of stakeholders. For a project that big, a tool like this isn't just useful, it's a lifesaver. Wrapping up our project plan, we come to risk management. This part is all about continuously spotting risks and figuring out how to deal with them as we move throughout our project. The table on the screen shows a few risks we spotted for this project and how we're going to deal with them and how much they cost us. Keep in mind, this isn't every single risk out there. In a real project, you'd come together with your team, have a brainstorming session, and really think about all possible risks and how you could deal with them. It's all about being prepared for whatever comes your way. This concludes our project example. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like button and subscribe to our channel. For more lectures, helpful templates, quizzes, and loads of free materials, make sure to check out our website, hksmnow.com. We've got plenty more in store for you there.